Don't ever drink the coffee on a plane. If you're an avid coffee lover as well as someone who travels a lot, then you should refrain from accepting coffee or tea while flying. According to a new airline food study from the Hunter College NYC Food Policy Center, it's best to avoid drinking water used by airlines in flight. Another study conducted by the EPA found that water in more than 15% of commercial planes is contaminated with disease-causing pathogens. The Today also reports that in-flight coffee or tea is also made from the same airplane tap water that you avoid brushing your teeth with. The most dangerous times while riding in an airplane, no matter the length or distance of the trip, is always the takeoff and landing. If you think about it, takeoffs and landings are when the plane is in closer proximity to the ground. Additionally, this is also when the speed of airplanes are slower and pilots are required to perform more maneuvers. During takeoffs and landings, there are more airplanes in the airspace within close proximity that are also trying to take off and land. A Boeing statistical study showed that 16% of accidents occurred during takeoffs, whereas 29% occurred during the approach and landing. This is why you need to be highly alert during these time periods. There's a reason why flight attendants want you to keep the shades open during takeoff and landing. If you have ever had your shades down before takeoff, then you might have had a flight attendant come and ask you to keep it open until the flight is in the air. While most people don't bother to think why, it is in fact for the safety of the passengers. During takeoff, if there's an emergency and the airplane has to land, then the flight attendants have to keep an eye out for possible danger. Apart from that, before opening the main door after landing, flight attendants are required to look outside and assess the conditions. In addition, if the windows are left open and there's an issue with the engines, even if the flight attendants fail to see it, the passengers would surely witness this and inform them. Dim lights are meant to prepare you for evacuation, not sleep. The dim lights help your eyes adjust to the light outside, allowing you to escape quickly. The truth is that our eyes need time to adjust to change in light. This means that if the cabin is dimly lit and the plane had to make an emergency landing, then your eyes are already adjusted to the darkness, allowing you to follow the lighted pathways on the floor to the exit. In case of emergencies, the first 3 minutes are vital for survival of passengers. So if your eyes are not adjusted to the light and you take too long to exit, you could be preventing yourself or someone else from safely exiting the aircraft. The air you breathe on an airplane is actually compressed air taken from the engines. According to insiders, a large portion, 25 to 50%, is blown into the flight deck, and the rest is for the passengers. This does not mean that the air inhaled by passengers comes from the engine's exhaust. The reason why air is pulled from the engine rather than outside is because the process helps warm and pressurize the air from outside the plane. The outside air is then mixed with the recycled air within the cabin, thus allowing the cabin to maintain humidity and temperature. The blankets and pillows provided by most airlines are assumed to be clean. In reality, however, they are just refolded and stuffed back in the bins between flights. The only time they are clean is when they're on an originating first flight in the morning in a provisioning city. So, next time you get cold or simply want to rest your eyes for a few minutes, refrain from using the provided blanket and pillow. It's not unusual for pilots to fall asleep while flying. While pilots are trained to handle extreme emergencies and to think quickly, they too are human. According to a survey conducted on pilots from the UK, Norway, and Sweden, between 43 and 54% of them admitted to have fallen asleep while flying a passenger plane. While pilots or captains are allowed to rest in between long flights while the co-pilot mans the controls, about half of pilots in the survey say that they had indeed fallen asleep involuntarily during a flight.